Your reaction to the fact that the Supreme Court of Oklahoma said, no, you're going to have to take it down. They didn't cite the U.S. Constitution. They cited your own Oklahoma state constitution, right?
Well, that was the problem that we had. We were very concerned about that because their so-called opinion really didn't cite any of the previous precedent laws that we've had in Oklahoma, and they've never ruled against a display like the Ten Commandments, a passive display like the Ten Commandments before. They only had 3 pages in the ruling, and I've told by the legal scholars and the Attorney General here in Oklahoma that it was probably not their best work as far as the Supreme Court.
Okay. You say this is just another example of judicial activism. Why?
Well, again, it was purely a political decision more than a precedent, because the Oklahoma Supreme Court basically has ruled since then many times that the Constitution, Article 2, and they have stated that the displays such as this are constitutional in Oklahoma. We've had 2 other courts that have looked this, lower courts, and they've ruled it constitutional. The Supreme Court of the U.S. has ruled on this identical to the Texas state capitol and a display on public property in Utah. So we were taken back a little bit and definitely disappointed by their non-opinion. We thought that really it was kind of shooting from the hip.
Sure. Well, you know, it's curious because in many instances like this, Mike, it is things in state capitals and on public ground are regarded as historical because that's where, that's where our laws and our heritage came from in the beginning when this nation was first founded.
You sure about that, big guy? So our laws, they came from religion. They came from religion. They came from the Ten Commandments. That's why you got to put up a statue of it. Put it up. Represents our history. Represents where we got our laws from. All right, let's look at the Ten Commandments then. Do not worship any other gods. Is that a law? No. You can worship whatever god you want or worship no god at all. Do not make any idols. Is that a law? No, not at all. Do not misuse the name of God. Is that a law? God damn it. I don't fucking think so. Keep the Sabbath holy. Is that a law? Absolutely not. Honor your mother and father. Is that a law? No. Because what if they're assholes? What if they're murderers or rapists or they beat you or any... You don't have to honor your mother and father. I mean, if they're good parents, you should and you can. But it's not against the law to not do it. Let's be real here. Number 6, do not murder. Oh, we finally got 1. You can't kill. Oh, we finally got 1. That's actually a law. And by the way, I'm pretty sure we would have came to that conclusion on our own without it being written down in a ridiculous book that also has 7-headed dragons. Do not commit adultery. That's not against the law. Do not steal. There's number 2. That one is against the law, as it should be. Do not lie, and do not covet. Those are not against the law. 2 of 10. 2 out of 10 of the 10 commandments are laws. 20%. I believe that's a massively failing grade. So I repeat myself yet again. Steve Doocy, are you sure? Are you sure that this is where we get our laws from? I don't know what you mean. No. See, if the Bible really was where we get our laws from, we would have a fucked up society, son. Ban the fish market. You can't eat shellfish. That's in Leviticus, right next to the anti-gay stuff that you like to parrot. Ban pretty much all clothing companies because they all sell mixes of different fabrics. Can't do that. Ban barbershops. In the Bible, it's an abomination to ever shave your face or ever cut your hair. Ban them. This is true biblical law, so don't tell me our country's based on... I like how I just gave him a southern accent. I'll give him the dumb person accent. Gosh, our country's based on biblical law, even though it's not. Gosh golly. Apparently when Steve Doocy talks, he has to move his head like that. I'm Steve Doocy. I have a low IQ. Okay. Now I'm dizzy. Why'd I do that? But, all right, so clearly it's not based on the Bible, and if you read what the Founding Fathers said, above all else, they were secular. They were secular. Many of them were deists. You know what deism is? It's, I believe in a God, but I don't believe in the God of any specific religion, and I don't think that the God reads my thoughts and gives a shit about me specifically. It's just a God who, created things and was out. That's what a deist is. Many of the Founding Fathers were deists, so they're not even... Christians. Maybe they were culturally Christian, but they don't actually believe in Christianity. So, again, Steve Doocy has no clue what he's talking about. And to the idea that this is judicial activism, they flipped judicial activism right on its head. Because the whole point of America, the whole point of the country was a secular government. The whole point of the country was there's no religious test for office. The government cannot pick one religion over another religion and promote it. What they're doing by having the Ten Commandments on public land is they're doing exactly that. They're doing something that's clearly unconstitutional. So the real judicial activists are them. They're the judicial activists. They're the one who are trying to change what the point was, what the Constitution says. And that's the whole point of Fox News on this issue and other issues. They take something that's really not debatable and then they debate it. And then they try to act like, if anything, it's not debatable on their side. Like, oh, it's not debatable. We clearly can have the Ten Commandments on public land. No. It's not debatable in the sense that you cannot have it. And by the way, in different states, insofar as some states still allow it, which I would say is unconstitutional in terms of the country's constitution, not even the state constitution, when they allow it, they're forced to, okay, you have to also allow symbols from any other religion that wants to put it up on public land if you're going to allow the Ten Commandments, if you're going to allow Christian symbols. So then it's, open season. A Muslim can come and put up, a statue of some passages from the Quran or the Hadith. Would they like that? Let me think about it. Satanists can come and put up statues of fucking Beelzebub. You're allowed to do that. Once you open the door and you say, on public land, we're going to allow religious symbols for historical reasons, well, then every religion can go there, and every non-religion can go there and put their own statue. That's the way it works, man. That's the way the United States of America works. So your two choices are allow it all for historic reasons on public land but funded privately. Either allow it all or allow none of it because the government shouldn't be involved in religion in any way, shape, or form, even if it's privately funded on public land. So clearly they get, from a legal perspective and from a constitutional perspective and from a historical perspective, they get everything dead wrong because what they want to do is put up the Ten Commandments and only have the Ten Commandments and tell you to shut the fuck up and take it.